Yes. Dr. Mindy in the house. All right.
I appreciate that.
The carnivore diet.
Because of what we eat.
Honestly, you've really touched my heart.
Really what we know about epigenetics, because I think sometimes some people aren't familiar with that term or really what it means.
Yeah.
It's that our genes are basically turning either on or off based on what is happening in our lives. So our genes are saying, oh, okay, the way that I naturally operate is from a place of stress. So if that is the status quo, that is just my general default way of going about life, then my genes are basically saying to themselves, hey, we have to always be in a state of stress because that's the norm here. And when your genes are pre-programmed to operate at that hormonal level, always operating from a place of stress, then that genetic material is being translated forward in the mother's belly, in utero, in the parent's belly, onto the child. And so now the child is born with an emotional predisposition to stress. And so that's how the transmission just kind of keeps going.
So it's almost, what I'm hearing is it's almost like if mom had, I'm just using anxiety as an example. If mom had trauma and anxiety and that got passed down to you, if you're experiencing anxiety, if it's in your genes, anxiety is actually going to feel physiologically normal to you. Is that what happens? So you don't even realize you keep creating more anxious situations because you're trying to make your body feel normal. Do I have that right?
Yeah. And what is normal, right? Like what is
good point.
normal versus like my normal? Because then if your predisposition has been pre-programmed since day one to be at a high level of stress, and I say stress because I think stress can be pretty all encompassing when it comes to trauma, when it comes to anxiety, when it comes to all the things that flow from stress, the worry thoughts, all of those things. And so when we factor in that an emotional vulnerability is the baseline, is basically where we start off from, then that is what a person would have always experienced as normal. It is what their normal is versus someone that had a different genetic base by which to operate.